The Bahamas coming to the aid of Dominica in a tangible way. Good evening, everyone. I'm Janae Noel Ferguson with this Sunday edition of the Bahamas Tonight. Now, both prime ministers in talks after that Caribbean island was devastated by Hurricane Maria. In fact, Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis has pledged his government support to assist the Caribbean with hurricane relief. Now, among them, the Commonwealth of Dominica. 2 years after the devastation from Tropical Storm Erica and now Hurricanes Irma and Maria, that island nation is now on a mission to rebuild. Today, the Dominican Prime Minister met with Prime Minister Minnis to discuss the way forward. Altaviz Munnings has that.
Caribbean reports quote Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt of Dominica saying that every village, every street, and every person on that island was impacted by Hurricane Maria. He described his country as a war zone to the United Nations in New York on Saturday. Prime Minister Skerritt stopped in Nassau Sunday morning before heading home from his trip to the United Nations. He was greeted on the tarmac of Jet Aviation by Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis and his ministers of Financial Services and Immigration and Local Government and Transport, along with other senior government officials. The two regional leaders held a short discussion before speaking with the press. Prime Minister Skerritt said the primary objective for his island right now is access to water, food, housing, and transportation.
We are fortunate to have gotten additional helicopters yesterday and today, so we'll be cranking up our ability to bring supplies to the communities. There are some communities we can only have access by boats, so we're also utilizing small fishing boats to transport supplies to people. We're also seeking to clear as many roads as possible to reach the people. Shelter is a major challenge. There are people who really have nowhere to sleep sometimes, so we have to place particular attention to this. We still have a challenge at the hospital, so we have been able to get, fortunately, some solar powered dialysis machines, so we're now able to provide dialysis treatment to our patients, because medical people were fearful that had we not gotten this in place, those patients would have expired.
Prime Minister Skerritt noted that regional and international aid has already been earmarked for Dominica in the aftermath of Hurricane Maria.
I just came from the United Nations, and coming from there was a heightened commitment by the international community to assist. So we've seen an increase. The Caribbean community has been exceptional, with no exception. Every one of the Caribbean members have been exceptional in providing support and reaching out to us. All people are very resilient. They've been up and about, trying to recover their roofs and helping each other. So there's a real community spirit taking place, and people looking out for each other and doing what we can.
Prime Minister Minnis was pleased to see his regional colleague. He noted how Dominica has played a major role in the country's development and committed the Bahamas' support in hurricane relief and recovery for Dominica.
We would offer the assistance of our defense force, and the details of that would be worked out at a later stage. But most importantly, a lot of the children would have been displaced. And of course, the kids, that's the future to Dominica and the future to the world. And therefore, we would open our borders and accommodate those kids within our school system. And I make a plea to the Bahamian populace that those who can afford them in going into the private schools, please assist with the school fees there, so that not all may be accommodated in the public system, but the private system also. And I think just as they've helped us to get to this stage, we should help them moving forward.
After a private meeting, Prime Minister Skerritt left the Bahamas early Sunday afternoon. Altaviz Munnings, ZNS Network News.